Hello and welcome. I'm Geeta Mohan and you're watching World Today. Some breaking news at the top of the bulletin. Senate Republicans passed President Donald Trump's domestic agenda bill after a dramatic scramble to win over key holdouts. The vote was 50-50 and Vice President J.D. Vance cast the tie-breaking vote. That's breaking news coming in. Huge blow for Elon Musk, who's been warning and threatening Republicans from voting here on this bill. Another high-stakes battle now looms as the bill must pass in the House before heading to the president's desk. GOP leaders are racing to try to get the bill to the White House by the 4th of July.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being evenly divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative. The bill as amended is passed.
We want to finish over here, and then we'll go over here, and we'll go back and celebrate the big, beautiful bill that just got passed. You sure that's right? Right, Brian? Yeah, all right. Wow, good. He's doing a good job. We want to finish over here, and then we'll go over here, and we'll go back and celebrate the big, beautiful bill that just got passed. You sure that's right? Right, Brian? Yeah, all right.
Well, that's the big news coming in. The big, beautiful bill has been passed, BBB as they're calling it, but it still awaits a clearance from the House and then a signature by the President of the United States of America. That should certainly not be difficult. This bill has been controversial. It has elements and amendments that could certainly change the way America spends its money. And the one man who's been fighting tooth and nail against the bill is none other than the erstwhile billionaire friend of Donald Trump, Elon Musk. Elon Musk has been warning and threatening Republicans that should they go ahead and vote for this bill, that they would lose their seat next time they go in for elections. My colleague Pranay Upadhyay joins me from the newsroom. Pranay, thank you so much for joining me. This is big news coming in from Washington, D.C. A blow to Elon Musk, but certainly one great news for Donald Trump and the Trump administration. What's the way forward from here on?
Definitely, you are absolutely right, Geeta. Definitely a sigh of relief for President Donald Trump, but the exam, or the test still goes on to the House of Representatives and the US Congress. But yes, definitely a disappointment for Elon Musk, because he has been swearing, he has been saying that, if this big, beautiful bill, which he calls at big, ugly bill, if it gets passed in Senate, he is going to launch another party, which is the America Party. We do not know whether Elon Musk is going to float a new party or not. But you see that how the Senate has passed this bill, because Vice President J.D. Vance has to cast his tiebreaker vote, because Rand Paul and Tom Tillis, the two of the Republican senators, have opposed this bill. So definitely not a clear majority, though Republican Party has a thin majority, but still the Vice President had to cast his tiebreaker vote. So definitely it's a tough test for the Trump administration, and if he has to run through the 4th of July deadline, then it has to pass through the House of Representatives, where the test could be tougher for President Donald Trump. But definitely a success, because he has put in a lot of effort and a lot of equity in this big, beautiful bill.
But again, like you said, it was a tie, which means the country is divided, the lawmakers are divided. It's going to be difficult in the House. And there are going to be billionaire friends of Donald Trump, Pranay, like Elon Musk, who may not be very happy with this bill.
You're right, Geeta. Definitely not many people are in favor of it, and even many Republican leaders. As I mentioned, the Senator Rand Paul was the first one to come up and say and oppose this bill, that this is not for the fiscal prudence of the US economy. And many people in the country are opposing it, and definitely the Democrats has got a chance to oppose this bill within the Senate and as well as in the US Congress, in House of Representatives. So clearly not many billionaires, because this is calling for this reduction of subsidies, especially the medical sector. The medical aid is getting affected by this big, beautiful bill, because it is mandating the $1 trillion cut as far as the medical aid or medical insurance is concerned, and many people are opposing it. A wide number of people will get impacted of it. So we are yet to see that, in which form, because around this 1,000-page bill was subjected to many amendments in the Senate, and when it goes to Congress, we have to see that, in House of Representatives, how it is sailed through, and President Donald Trump want to pass it by the next US Independence Day, which is 4th of July.
That's right, Pranay. It is a bill that is controversial, if not billionaire. Certainly, Republican camp, the common man that's been affected by this bill will certainly raise voices when it comes to the passing of this bill. Right now, it's only seen the Senate. It needs to see the House and the White House. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Trump's big, beautiful bill passes the test in the Senate. After a marathon voting, the bill was passed after a tie-breaking vote by Vice President J.D. Vance. Tesla CEO and former Doge head Elon Musk on X posted that the lawmakers who had supported Trump's agenda bill will not win the next primary.
There was a brief lull, and then came Tesla CEO and former Doge head Elon Musk barrage of tweets attacking the Trump administration, while a voter-armor continued in the Senate over Trump's big beautiful bill. The public feud between Elon Musk and US President Donald Trump reached its height when Musk described Trump's massive tax and domestic policy bill as a disgusting abomination. But the Senate worked tirelessly to meet the July 4 deadline, when Trump's big beautiful bill is finally signed by the president. Musk warned that the lawmakers backing the bill will lose the next primary. Musk further said the country needs an alternative to the Democratic and Republican parties and suggested launching his own America Party after the bill is passed. Calling the bill utterly insane and destructive, Musk says the bill will result in job loss. Meanwhile, Trump also said he would take a look at the possibility of deporting Elon Musk. Trump's comment came shortly after he launched a scathing attack on Musk over government subsidies and the electric vehicle mandate.
I think what's going to happen is Doge is going to look at Musk. And if Doge looks at Musk, we're going to save a fortune. Thank you very much, everybody. I don't think you should be playing that game with me.
The bill, which is an extension of Trump's 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, seeks to make the cuts permanent. It serves Trump's key goals, from financing his deportation crackdown to slashing green energy projects. It also exemplifies the growing power of a president who aims to dominate the geopolitics of the era.
I think so. I think it's going to be the greatest bill ever passed, even for you as an example. Tremendous amount of Homeland Security money. Oh, tremendous amount. It's going to keep the border secure because, we have them secure now, but we need to build more wall. I built almost 600 miles of wall. We need more wall. And all of that's covered in this bill. This bill is amazing for everybody. It's an amazing bill for Florida, too. Really great for Florida.
Some of the key bills that the Senate adopted were that the bill bars federal funds from being used for unemployment benefits for individuals whose wages are at least $1 million. Another amendment that passed strikes language from the bill that would have blocked state and local governments from enforcing their own artificial intelligence regulations for 10 years. The other amendment adopted was to move up the eligibility verification requirement for Medicaid by 1 year. The bill, running to nearly 1,000 pages, included increased spending for border security, defense, and energy production, offset to a degree by cuts to healthcare and food support programs. The process involves Senate approval followed by the House and then reaching the President for his signature to become a law. With Mahashweta Lala, Bureau Report, India Today.
Big news coming in from Turkey. Turkish police detained at least 4 cartoonists accused of drawing and distributing a cartoon that authorities and protesters say is a depiction of Prophet Muhammad and Moses. The cartoon went viral on social media days after it was published. Hundreds of people took to Istanbul's main tourist street, chanting slogans and calling for Sharia law in protest.
Massive protests erupt in Turkey's Istanbul as hundreds of people protested against a satire cartoon of Prophet Muhammad in the Lehman publication. Protesters gathered outside Lehman's offices, chanted slogans, and kicked the doors of the magazine offices in central Istanbul. According to the authorities and protesters, the cartoon published in a political satire magazine shows what appears to be a Muslim and a Jewish man, both with wings, shaking hands and greeting each other as bombs fall below. The images of the cartoon have gone viral on social media, drawing wide criticism. Soon after the protesters took to the streets, police arrested the editor-in-chief, graphic designer, institutional director and cartoonist of the satirical magazine. Turkey's Interior Ministry confirmed the news by releasing a video of cartoonists being detained in their homes, barefoot and handcuffed by police with captions, and I quote, "You will not escape from our security forces or from justice," unquote. Turkey's Justice Ministry announced an investigation had been launched into the incident under Article 216 of the Turkish Penal Code for the crime of publicly insulting religious values. Meanwhile, Lehman posted on X and denied that the cartoon was a caricature of Prophet Muhammad. More arrest warrants have also been issued against other members of the magazine's senior management. The cartoon, widely seen as a comment on religious harmony in contrast to conflict on earth, drew strong condemnation from government officials and religious conservatives. With Neha Kumari, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, American lawmaker Brandon Gill faced backlash after he posted on X asking Democrat Zohran Mamdani to go back to the third world. Now, what happened there? He posted it after the New York City mayoral candidate was seen eating rice with his hands in an old video. The Republican congressman said civilized people in America don't eat with their hands and asked Mamdani to adopt Western customs. Gill faced outrage, with users pointing out that Gill is married to Danielle D'Souza, the Indian-origin daughter of right-wing commentator Dinesh D'Souza. Internet users posted old pictures of Gill's Indian-origin father-in-law eating with his hands. Now, at least 74 Palestinians were killed on Monday as Israeli forces launched a series of deadly airstrikes and opened fire on civilians desperate for food aid. Among the dead were women and children killed in an airstrike and on Al-Baqa Cafe, a seaside venue in Gaza City. The cafe was reportedly filled with civilians seeking internet access and a place to charge their phones, a rare functioning business amid 20 months of war.
A large blast was seen over the Gaza Strip early Tuesday as Israeli strikes continued in the region. The strike comes as two U.S. administration officials said U.S. President Donald Trump was expected to host Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for talks at the White House next Monday, with the U.S. leader stepping up his push to broker a ceasefire and hostage agreement between Israel and Hamas and bring about an end to the war.
I am expected to travel next week to the United States for meeting President Donald Trump. We have a few matters to finalize beforehand in order to reach a trade agreement in addition to other issues.
Earlier, an Israeli airstrike hit a seaside cafe near Gaza City in the northern Gaza Strip, killing at least 30 people and injuring dozens more. The Al-Baqa Cafe, located on the western Gaza Strip, was packed when Israeli strike took place. Videos of the strike shows thick plumes of smoke billowing from the scene, revealing extensive destruction to the cafe and its surroundings as eyewitnesses recounted the devastating events.
This is a public area where people come to find some relief, but they are still targeted. A place crowded with children, women and families. Suddenly, while they are sitting in God's protection, an F-16 warplane, not a drone or a boat missile, an F-16 struck the place. The place shook and dozens of martyrs fell. It was a massacre. Until now, the people are collecting the remains of the martyrs.
Al-Shifa Hospital in a statement said that most of the victims were women and children. Besides, Israeli aircraft also bombed a warehouse distributing aid supplies in southern Gaza City, killing dozens.
The army started firing in the air and the army had seen us. I was injured in my leg. One person came to rescue me. He was injured too, and the army was in front of us. The Israeli side deliberately and directly fired at the people. It was not random. It was targeted at us directly.
According to Gaza's health authorities, the Palestinian death toll in the war-torn Gaza Strip has risen to 56,531, with 133,642 others injured since the conflict broke out on October 7, 2023. With Neha Kumari, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, India's big message on terror at the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar said during the Quad Foreign Ministerial meeting and to the foreign ministers that don't equate terror victims and perpetrators. World must display zero terror tolerance. India has the right to defend herself from terror.
A word about terrorism in the light of our recent experience. The world must display zero tolerance. Victims and perpetrators must never be equated, and India has every right to defend its people against terrorism, and we will exercise that right. We expect our Quad partners to understand and appreciate that.
Google's betting big on fusion energy, partnering with Commonwealth Fusion Systems to power AI data centers with clean, limitless energy. Is this the future of power? Here's Cyrus with more.
It's great to see that big tech companies are tapping into new forms of power and energy, specifically fusion energy, and this is how the story goes. Google has signed a deal with a company called Commonwealth Fusion System to tap into fusion energy, basically clean energy for the future. Now, this operation has not started yet. It will take time, but this is what Google is trying to do. AI computation requires a lot of power and energy. Even the management of data does. So what is Google doing? It's tapping into an energy which will be clean and also it will also give it the kind of energy that it requires. For example, the commercial plant that is being set up in Virginia by Commonwealth has a capacity of 400 megawatts, of which Google will be using 200 megawatts. That's being estimated. But this is kind of a story that's changing the AI world. Companies require more energy for computation. Imagine the kind of power that's required to create one image. That is a lot. So imagine what AI will be doing in the future, which is why Google is tapping into this form of power. But yes, this will change the way AI and computation work in the future. And by 2030, at least, Google is saying that it wants to have at least 50% lesser carbon emission. And this sort of a deal will help it achieve that as well. With camera person Jagannath, this is Cyrus for India Today.
That's all in this edition of World Today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and take care.